My name is Mitch O'Farrell. I'm council member here in the 13th District. Honored and privileged to represent this neighborhood, this area, this district. And I want to thank Carrie Cecil for organizing this vigil this evening, this very important moment that we're having. And I want to thank Carrie for really stepping up to the plate. And I want to thank everyone for coming tonight and standing with us in solidarity in relation to this horrible crime against this very vulnerable woman who did not deserve to die this way. So we're here tonight in solidarity, as I mentioned, and I want to thank all of you for coming. I also want to acknowledge Lieutenant Leong from LAPD. Lieutenant, thank you so much for being here. I also want to acknowledge representatives from the LGBT Los Angeles Center. Thank you for attending and being here tonight and being part of this organization. So Carrie Cecil, folks.
A life has been taken. A young person was brutally murdered, who happens to be of trans experience. And I think it's very important for us to come together as a community and let them know that we're not just gonna let them, keep killing us off systematically all over the world. We have had so many transgender women and men murdered. And here it is, right in our backyard. Many of us live in this area, and it's hard to feel safe with these people going around killing, people. And I just want to thank each and every single one of you for coming and standing in solidarity. And I think it's really important that maybe we take a moment of silence.
Another transgender person was killed. I am absolutely devastated. How sad it is that another African American transgender person on the streets of Los Angeles has been killed. Has been killed based on the color of their skin or the gender identity. Very, very sad. I don't believe that we will rest completely until the suspects are apprehended and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
I'm here at this vigil for this transgendered woman who lost her life late last night, and I'm standing in solidarity with all those gathered to mark this solemn occasion and raise the awareness that we need to move past the indifference in society about the transgender community and really take a stand that this kind of brutality is not to be tolerated anywhere in society, and to also raise the awareness to the general public with all the media that's here to help apprehend cowards who did this to this woman. And it's a blessing that it's caught on video because we can identify the suspects that way. So we need to bring them to justice. We need to get to the bottom of this in an investigation and determine factually on the status of a hate crime or not. So I'm encouraged by the community here tonight to raise the awareness of those who are often marginalized in society, and we need to be here for them, and that's why I'm here.
This is the 8th transgender woman of color who has been killed since June in this country, and while that might not sound like a lot to some people, there aren't that many transgender women of color in this country. So this isn't just a coincidence or random violence. It's a trend and it's an epidemic, and it's really on all of us as community members to make sure that we're supporting our transgender brothers and sisters, that we're speaking out, that we're educating when we have the opportunity to do so, and that we're not silent, because when we're silent, we're part of the problem.
This is something that's starting to happen in our communities regularly, and it's always targeted toward African American transgender women. And it's becoming a big problem. The main problem that we're having is there's not enough people out here advocating for the transgender people who are being murdered. Also, there's not enough people working to capture the people who's actually committing these murders, making it harder for transgender women like myself to get out in the world and maneuver and to do what we need to do to get through life during the day. You know, it's just so crazy. You know, we're discriminated in housing, we're discriminated against in medical, we're discriminated against in general. We are the people that people say should not exist. Why, I don't know. So that's just my take on what has been taking place here tonight, and just it's continuing to happen, and it just needs to stop.
And I don't know, I don't know what's up with Hollywood, because it seems like, I'm not expert or anything on this stuff, but it seems like most of us who have been murdered the last 2 years have been in different parts of Hollywood and a few other places. And what I see on one of the media today, there was a report about East Hollywood and poverty. And so I teach like history and all that. And I'm kind of linking it up. I said, okay, any place you have poverty and you have more violence, it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's happened a long time ago. It's happening now, and it's going to continue until we get serious about you know, linking all this stuff, about teaching more people about this, about, you know, bringing economic empowerment into the community. It's got to stop. It's got to stop.
So we're out here tonight. We're gathered here for the young woman that was killed. She was murdered in cold blood. We're gathered here as a community. We're angry, and we want to see to it that justice is served. There have been many trans women who have been killed over the years, and nothing has been done. Paris Wilson was a man who killed Elon Nettles in New York City, and he walks away scot-free. And I don't want to see this happen again. I don't want another Elon Nettles.
I'm out here to remember the life of a transgender person who was shot down. We're not sure exactly why it happened or how it happened, but we know that transgender people are being killed frequently, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of police effort to find the killers. So we came together to do this vigil, not only as a remembrance, but to let the community know that there are a lot of people like us, and we just are tired of being the victims of hate crimes, being killed, and forgotten.
Unfortunately, once again, we are here having a vigil for another transgender woman that has been murdered. Countless transgender people all over the world have been constantly attacked, focused on, murdered, you know, and we have some of the highest violence rates in the world. And for such a small minority, the numbers speak for themselves. And in the last 4 years, over 1,600 trans people have been brutally murdered all around the world. And that's not even counting the unreported cases. That's not even counting those that they misclassified as just a man in a dress. How many times have we heard that? Just a man in a dress. Can't we just respect us as the people that we are? And to constantly attack us and people not to look at us as the human beings that deserve the rights to stand up against that, you know, it's just heartbreaking. So once again, we're here to remember our fallen sister, because it could be any one of us next, because nobody's doing anything about it, and we have to come together as a trans community. It doesn't matter the color of our skin, it just matters that we're trans and that we're in a small minority. And we have to send a message out to the world that we're just like you. We're just on a different path, and show us in a human light.